Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again for another process video. This one's for the Cut Shop, and I feel like it's been forever since I've made a layout for the Cut Shop. It just happens to be when the calendar falls, so it's been a couple weeks. So this is for my regular monthly posting on the blog, and I'm scrapping a picture of my friend Jennifer and me from last summer when we took a little road trip up to St. Augustine. And I'm using a couple of different cut files for this, and I'm using the Modern Girl collection from Bo Bunny. And I usually don't use a lot of Bo Bunny, but I saw this in a scrapbook store and the colors just jumped out at me. So I got some of the pattern papers and some of the stickers, and they match perfectly with this picture. So I thought I would use some of those for this layout. That cut file is called Scallop Circles, and it's really cute. I shrunk it down a little bit, and I just wanted to use it as a background element. So I cut it on white cardstock, and I just attached it to some more white cardstock. And I want to add some mixed media to this, so I am using clear gesso. And very quickly, I love watching my hand in fast motion. It's so funny. I wasn't going that fast, but when I speed it up, it makes the screen blurry because my hand's going so fast. But anyway, I just use my hand like I usually do there. And this time I'm using Distress inks. I go through stages where I use gelatos and then I want to use spray inks. This time I wanted to use my ink pads. So I pulled out a couple, and I pulled out a blue color. And of course, it's not right in front of me at this moment. I can't remember what color it is. It's a royal/navy blue color, and I just put it on the plastic packaging like I've been doing recently, and add some water to it and smush it down onto the paper. And I like the way the circles are showing up. You can see the cut file starting to show through a little bit more. I'm using a couple of different red tones. I think I'm using Barn Door, and oh gosh, I should have pulled these out so I could tell you what colors they are. If you want to know, let me know, and I will let you know what colors they are. I know I'm using some mustard seed and tea dye mixed together to create this yellowish gold color. I do remember those because the predominant colors in this collection are red, blue, and yellow, and so I wanted to get all of those colors on the background there. And I'm taking some of my papers like I normally do. I feel like I'm describing the same thing every layout, but this is how my mind works. I like to get my background going, and then I want to work on my layers. And I pulled out a yellow to begin with, and then I found this other brighter yellow paper, and so I used that instead as the very first layer behind my picture. And I really loved this banner ombre sheet, but I just cut into it and used it as a layer. I like the fact that it's got some orange in it, but it's more of a red orange. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty. And I usually try and use at least 3 papers behind my picture, some solids and some patterns. This time I go for 4. I'm going to use this navy blue as one more layer in the back. And I like that it separates the picture from the background, because sometimes when you have a really busy background, the picture gets lost in the busy factor. So if you put enough layers behind your picture and include some solids, it will make your picture stand out, and it won't get lost in all of that busy background, if that makes sense. So I've decided I like that look, so I'm going to go ahead and use my pop dots and get my picture raised up. And I did add a little piece of vellum down there. That's my latest obsession, is adding subtle hints of vellum. I'm going to add some work down here to the bottom of the page, and I'm going to use a couple of strips of pattern papers, echoing all the colors that I've used up in my main cluster area. And I did fussy cut a couple of those little viewfinder strips from a big piece of pattern paper. I think they're really cute. I like the watercolor look inside the little squares. I think they're really, really cute. And the whole page was full of them, so I just cut a few out. And I pull out some of my washi tape, and I've got some blue stripes going on. I'm going to also add in some red later on and a little bit of the teal color. Now the teal color is very subtle, but you can see it in the striped paper behind my picture. That's the fourth color that's in this collection. It's not a huge predominant color in the pieces that I've chosen, but it's got subtle hints of it. So I pull in a little bit of a teal washi tape there, and I put some at the bottom and a little bit up there above the picture. And this layout actually came together kind of quick for me. So I was pleasantly surprised that what I threw together I actually liked, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time changing my mind, which is usually not the case. So that was nice. I felt like I was cheating or doing something wrong because it actually didn't take me as long, because usually I just drag and drag and drag on trying to get a layout just perfect the way I like it. So sometimes you just run out of time and you have to say, okay, it's finished. This is it. So that's another cut file that I'm using. It's from the Happy Camper cut file, and there's several different designs on that one cut file, and I'm just using this cute little upside down triangle that says road trip, and I back it with some paper, and I use the red to orange-ish color ombre paper. But I don't like the fact that it's just white. So here come the gelatos, and I'm going to use these blue. I think I may use more than one blue. I'm not sure. I may just use that one blue, but I just smudge around the edges of it to give it some color. I play around a little bit with the viewfinder circles, so I wasn't quite sure if they were going to stay there permanently or not. I pulled out some wood veneer. I have several travel themed wood veneer pieces. The Places Will Go. I think I've actually used that before. That came in a pack of Studio Calico wood pieces, and there were probably 3 or 4 of the same one in there, so I think I've used that on another layout before. And these 2 strips, the one that says Friend and Adventure, those are also Studio Calico. And I'm just going to use my gelatos to give it some color. And again, I'm just smudging it on with my finger, adding a little bit of water to my finger to help smudge it. It's really, really easy to do that with the wood veneer pieces. So I finally decide, yes, the viewfinders are going to go right there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick those down. And Road Trip is going to go right there. It's going to be kind of a title. It's not the official title, I guess. This one has a couple of titles, so I guess it doesn't really have one huge title. My third cut file, it's hard to see right now because it's white, but it says Destination. And it is from one of the other travel cut files that is basically a list of words that relate to travel. And I show pictures of all of these cut files at the end of my video. And this is one reason why I like cutting cut files in white, because you can customize them to whatever color you want. So I'm using some of the mustard seed and tea dye distress ink there and just brushing it on my word, giving it sort of a golden yellow / orangey tone. Not really orange, but kind of a burnt yellow, if that makes any sense. It's the yellow that's in this collection, so it matches pretty well. And I really like how that looks. So now it's going to stand out a little bit more when I stick it down. These are from my stash. I've had these for a while. They're from Pebbles, and they're just red alpha stickers. And they don't stick very well. They really didn't stick at all. And I think it's mostly because of the gesso. Things don't stick well on gesso. So I just get a piece of my scratch paper here and run a strip of my adhesive on it. And then I just stick these down. I'm going to make my own little strip there. And it's going to say St. Augustine because that's where we were. We took a little road trip up to St. Augustine. It's about 3 hours from where I live in Florida. And we were going to the Sarah Bareilles concert, and I've scrapped a picture of us at the concert before. I don't think I have a video for it, but it's definitely in my gallery and on my blog. And so I've got lots of pictures to scrap. but I jump around a lot. So I'll probably scrap them as I go here and there. And we were sitting down in the historic district having lunch. Had a really good time. It's a really cool place if you've never been there. Now I do go back with a silver pen and I trace the background file because it's really subtle. Because I did want it to stand out. I didn't want it to be so loud and bold that it takes away from everything, but I did want to be able to see the scalloped circles a little bit better. So the silver pen does that really well. It's just enough for you to see it, but it's not too dark. It's definitely not dark as black. So I like that look. And I'm going to go in and add some of my tangled thread here and there, which I really like. And I decided that adventure wood piece was not dark enough. So I go back in. And you can still see the word adventure, but it does kind of fade it away. So I'm going to get my white gel pen and go over the word adventure. And it was exactly what it needed. It makes it stand out so much better. I'm being very pleasantly surprised lately at all the things I'm doing to these wood veneers, and it's doing really well. Like, it takes paint, it takes mist, it takes ink, it takes gelatos. You can write on them, you can foil on them. Very easy to alter it. So now I pull out my red thread and add it there underneath that adventure piece. That Oh Snap badge or flare button is from my stash. I think that's from October Afternoon. It just matched and it went right in the center of that little scallop circle, so had to use that. And this red one is from a Flare for Buttons, and it's a red camera, and I don't use red a whole lot, so I had to make that one work for this page because it's red and it's a camera and it's super cute. So that's where it's going to go. And that's where that little wood piece is going to go. And I'm going to put the friend one up top. It gives a pop of yellow. And it's a page about my friend, so it's perfect. And then I'm going to glue that one down. And that's the final piece. Now, I did go back and type my journaling and print it off on my computer, and I added some stitching. I discovered when I went to write my journaling that there was really no good spot to write, and I did not want to try to write over that scalloped background. It's just too much texture. So I printed out my strips and glued them down and added some stitching and some navy blue splatters with some color shine. And that's it. There's the close-ups. I hope you enjoyed this. I've got images of the cut files that I used coming up, which you can find in the Cut Shop, and here they come. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this gives you some inspiration on how to use these cut files. Thanks for stopping by, and I will see you again next time. Have a great day.